Luck doesn't just come to see, everybody's lucky, everybody. It is only that some who are able to hold on to that luck, and then that is we call success. So one of the persons who stayed with us is a doctor, a well-known doctor from one of the well-known hospitals in Mumbai. And she mentioned to me that, Vishal, I don't see your people wearing gloves. I think anybody will be safe. It is only when we try and do extra just for the optics, which in life you shouldn't do. If you believe in it, we believe firmly in environment. Okay, we don't do it as a marketing gimmick. Our tagline also friendly, eco-friendly. Why? Because we believe in the environment and safety. We believe in greenery. We believe in whatever local birds, flora, fauna is there. We encourage that, and because of that, wherever our hotels are there, they become small paradise, whether they are in the city or whether they are in the rural.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Namaskar, everyone.
How are you doing, sir?
I've been doing good. Monsoons are here, so I'm going to do better now because
Right.
the heat has gone and now we have nice lush greenery going to come. And I look forward to once this lockdown ending, going and seeing some greenery around our various properties.
Right. So, Abhitak, how has the lockdown been for you?
It's been good. It's been family time. It's also been worrying because we have so many Kamat Khandan members, our employees, and they're also been weighing on my mind because at the end of the day, we are responsible not just for the individual but for his family also. So how can we
Right.
bring back normalcy? How can we bring back things? Is very important to us because many of these people are not just employees. Like I said, they're family. Some have seen me grow up, some have grown with me, and some who have joined to further grow with us. All three are equally important in terms of our affection and responsibility to them. So definitely we have been trying whatever best we can do in that.
Okay. So, sir, just now we'll start with the podcast. And my first question for you is, can you give the listeners a brief background before you stepped into the hospitality sector?
Brief background into.
Before you stepped into the hospitality sector, like in terms with your education, your childhood, your school life.
See, our industry is one of the most easiest industries to enter in.
Okay.
It is not the easiest industry to grow in.
Right.
To enter anything is very easy, but first, before entering, are you committed to take the challenges which that industry is offering? It's
Mhm.
not only our industry, any profession you choose in life, you should first write down at least 10 reasons why you shouldn't do this. And if you can easily write down 10 reasons why you shouldn't do this, at least then you know the worst negatives of those 10 worst reasons that you don't want to do. And after that, still, if you feel you want to do it, then that industry is for you. Whether it is hospitality, whether it is medical, whether it's anything, you should first know the worst of that industry because we always see the glamour.
Right.
You'll see some successful lawyer, you'll see some successful doctor, you'll see some successful hotelier, and then you think, oh wow, this is for me. But what about the struggles? What about the challenges that are there in that field? Even simple thing as being, an artist. One amongst thousands or one amongst 10,000s becomes a big name.
Right.
So, what made that person a big name, and how you can emulate based on your own strengths, how you can overcome your weaknesses, and then you become also one of those 10,000. That is what
Mhm.
I think each one will achieve or aim to achieve in his life.
Right. So, looking at the downside also along with the advantage of entering the industry and knowing the downside and knowing that you can overcome.
Yes, that's very important because see, upside can come by luck also. But after that, it
Right.
is your talent which will retain that luck. The
Absolutely.
luck doesn't just come to see, everybody's lucky, everybody. It is only that some who are able to hold on to that luck, and then that is we call success. Ki again, everybody gets lucky. Today, you might win a lottery ticket, but
Mm-hmm.
after winning a lottery ticket, how have you retained that money? So many
Mm-hmm.
people, if you read about the lottery winners, most of them have again become poor and bankrupt because they could not digest the success of that luck.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some amongst them who invest that money, save that money, don't get carried away, ki immediately naya gaadi liya, immediately living beyond their means. And those are the successful lottery winners who have then taken that luck and then made their life out of it. So same way in a career, you get an opportunity, you get a break, and you feel, oh wow, I got what I wanted. But after that, have you retained what you wanted? and then built on that to go to your next step. That is where many people falter, and then they think someone is lucky. No, luck
Mhm.
comes to everyone. Everyone's lucky.
Absolutely.
That's so.
So, sir, like all of us know that the current situation isn't very favorable for anyone. So, can you elaborate to the listeners how hard, maybe using some stat, has it hit the hospitality sector?
See, it's not fair to say it's not been favorable to anyone. Life is never favorable. Life, what say when I was talking to my mom, now some of the best philosophical learnings I get is from my mom. And people ask now the most common question in life people ask is what is the meaning of life? What is life? But especially this lockdown and so many other past incidences, what have they taught me? That the purpose of life is struggle. Right from when a child is born, doctor has to slap that child on his buttocks so he cries. Otherwise, if he doesn't struggle at that time and get a fatka, he will not breathe because that liquid will not come out from his lungs, and that girl or boy child will not live. So, right from birth, you are given fatkas in life till your very last day. So, the
Right.
whole purpose of life is to struggle, and in that struggle, how you can make your struggle a better struggle or less reduced struggle for you, your family, and your society. And those ones who are able to achieve this and reduce the struggle of theirs and the struggle of others are the ones who we remember. Otherwise, nothing in life can be achieved without struggle. So, same way in
Absolutely.
our industry and in our current scenario, there have been some people who, even in this lockdown, have done very well.
Mm-hmm.
But for that, they have struggled. They have
Right.
modified themselves. They have enhanced themselves. They were earlier doing something else. They have totally done a 360-degree turn and created some new opportunity and avenue. And I think that is the biggest learning from this lockdown. We
Right.
also, as a hotel company, we have been doing things over the last 75 years, 80 years the same way. Suddenly now this new methodology has come in terms of how we need to project ourselves, how we need to work in our systems and SOPs. And if we don't adapt, if we don't modify our past to suit our present, then definitely we will become extinct in the future. So it's all about being able to be fluid, liquid like water with your thoughts. That no, I
Absolutely.
have to keep flowing like a river. Otherwise, then you will become stagnant and become a gutter. So you have to take up challenges. See how in our industry, people who are struggling, many of them have started alternate businesses in terms of hospitality, whether it is tiffin service, whether it is home delivery, focusing in their marketing has changed. Earlier they were marketing it differently, now they've marketed differently. Definitely, I'm not saying the mass have it easy. The mass have it difficult in especially our industry of hospitality, restaurants and hotels,
Mm-hmm.
travel trade, all these which are leisure, all these have been affected very badly. But those who have, like, I know one of my friends who is from hospitality, he had some few people with him. He has diverted his team to start selling masks and gloves. Yes, many people are doing, but that doesn't stop you from doing. And using your connect, your contact, your goodwill in the market, and modifying and earning something so that you can keep those people's livelihood on salary on.
Right.
So each one needs to see the challenges. The challenges will keep coming. Today it is this corona, tomorrow it will be something else. But kuch bhi ho, life mein daro na. That is the main motto of it, and we have to adapt. So
Right.
that's how I would take these challenges.
So that is a very positive outlook towards life, which helps you to grow. So, sir, like you were talking about the modifications that everyone is now making. So, what are the modifications that Samad Group has come up with to, fight back to the situation?
See, apart from whatever everyone else is expected to do, and we are also expected to do, to give a safe, hygienic environment. Hygienic it already was. Our hotels, especially many of the branded chains, are already very hygienic. Now we have to be one step up in terms of keeping this corona in mind. We have to modify and further enhance. There is a between being safe and hygienic and just doing things for the heck of it and projecting. I'll give you one live example which happened recently. There was one doctor. We are part of our Orchid Hotel and Wits Hotel are part of the Vande Bharat. So whether it is in Pune Orchid, whether it's in Mumbai Orchid, whether it is Wits Mumbai, all these Indians who are stuck abroad, they come to their hometown, and there's a Vande Bharat mission where then
Mhm.
they stay in quarantine hotels who
Okay.
have been specially trained and groomed to handle these kind of things, and then
Mm-hmm.
the test is done, and then most of the guests, in fact, I would say, that's what all our guests till now we've experienced have been not having any corona and other things and all, and that's because they've already been prudent. So one of the persons who stayed with us is a doctor, a well-known doctor from one of the well-known hospitals in Mumbai. And she mentioned to me that, oh, Vishal, I don't see your people wearing gloves, and
Mm-hmm.
this is not right. So I said, doctor, tell me something. Were they wearing masks? She said, yeah, yeah, they wear masks, they wear the other things, but they don't wear the gloves. I said, ma'am, you also know better than I that is wearing gloves going to make them safe? No. In fact, where they need to wear the gloves, only there they wear the gloves, which makes it safe. If you wear gloves all the time, your hands are going to get contaminated, and you are, in fact, because you're wearing gloves, you feel you're safe, and you further act careless and irresponsible. That is why in certain areas where they need to wear the gloves,
Mm-hmm.
kitchen, while they're serving the food, while they're carrying out their duties in that, where the glove zones are there they have to wear the glove. So there, if someone doesn't wear a glove, he immediately stands out, and you can take the corrective action.
Right.
So I said, in a hospital also, operation theater के बाहर कोई glove पहनता है? नहीं. So I said, why would my staff also wear gloves all the time? One
Mm-hmm.
is it's not very easy to wear and maintain those gloves. Some of them get, including myself, get allergies and rash. So it's not easy. We have to also sacrifice the same. So when I told this to the doctor, she like, हाँ नहीं आप सही बोल रहे हो, but मेरे को लगा. So that is where just to do hygiene
Mm-hmm.
for the sake of doing it is not being smart. अपने को अल्टीमेटली साबु से हाथ धोना है, सेंसिबिलिटी से नहीं. We can't. Sensibilities we have to maintain and accordingly, and that is why till now none of our staff have got affected, because what is drilled down in them is sensibilities,
Right.
common sense. If we
Mm-hmm.
follow common sense, I think anybody will be safe. It is only when we try and do extra just for the optics, which in life you shouldn't do. If you believe in it, we believe firmly in environment. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we don't do it as a marketing gimmick. Our tagline also friendly, eco-friendly. Why? Because we believe in the environment and safety. We believe in greenery. We believe in whatever local birds, flora, fauna is there, to encourage that. And because of that, wherever our hotels are there, they become small paradise, whether they are in the city or whether they are in the rural. They become a paradise, whether it's Jadavgarh, whether it's Mumbai Orchid. Mumbai Orchid is in the city, yet there are more than 500 parrots, there are more than 800 myna, there are different kinds of birds in just our small compound because of the sparrows. In Bombay, you don't get to see sparrows now. If you come to Orchid, you'll see at least 200, 300 sparrows in the area, in our immediate compound. So how is it that you attract them? And how is it that you make a safe environment for them? Based on that, they also sing. And that's how our
Right.
chota chota efforts in the long run pay us big dividends. So believe in yourself, believe in what you do. Don't do it just for marketing, and then automatically your customer sees that. And that is why today we are doing very well in terms of this lockdown also challenges. Now we've got some food order, parcel order, because people come and they see this. And then, when they are convinced that you're not doing an optics, then
Mm-hmm.
they have that even more confidence. So we've got to keep modifying and doing as the need is.
Absolutely. Sir, as you spoke of paradise, I can also see a bird, or is that a parrot behind you?
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. That's parrot. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So,
So, sir, my next question being, so like the future is blur for most of us. We do not know what will be the customer needs or how the customer needs will change in the coming times. So, how does hospitality sector look to you post COVID situation?
see, no one knows what anyone wants. Okay,
Right.
that is the biggest challenge right now of Corona, and
Mm-hmm.
that is where you have to keep your mind open more than anything else, more than just your ears and eyes open, your mind open to where the next opportunity can come. What kind of catering, what kind of facility management, what kind of alternate stream can you give? Because see, somebody in this world always has a need. Okay, before lockdown started, who would have thought that making masks, a simple thing like making fancy masks, which are socially acceptable in terms of the style trend, it's not only safety, it's also about that you want to look good, that even if you have to cover your
Right.
face partially, you want to go matching with your outfit or looking trendy, not just safety.
Right.
So how a mask has evolved as an industry, which was non-existent till 2 months back, 3 months back. So there are going to be multiple different new avenues coming about. And I think that each one based on his interest or her interest should keep their eyes, ears, and most important, mind open for where the next opportunity can lie.
Mhm.
That's about it.
So, sir, how is in the current situation, how is Kamat Group of Hotels contributing and giving back to the society?
So wherever possible, we have been engaging our staff. We have been helping out whatever we can do in terms of, like example, being part of Vande Bharat. Now these are not really very profitable at all. You know, the kind
Right.
of rates that we're offering, the kind of
Mhm.
facilities that we're giving for that. But everything is not about money. Something in a monsoon has come. We also need to protect our assets. So
Mhm.
making sure that accordingly, still we do what is required to protect. Because for 3 months, 4 months, they will still be closed. Many of them, because I don't see the hospitality sector opening up very soon,
Right.
unfortunately. So whatever we can do in whatever little way we are doing, we have been doing. Wherever
Mhm.
possible, we've been helping when we were able to help, and when we had the bandwidth, when we had the facilities, we have donated food, we have donated other things, and we have given it to basically like vruddashrams and orphanages, various places where earlier people would easily go. See, everyone looks after only the poor people you can see on TV, but what about those bichare who we were already taking care of, who now suddenly have no avenue?
Right.
So we've done wherever possible in our limited way, because as a hospitality group, right now we are facing a lot of challenges.
Mhm.
There is no business. Government hasn't also opened up anything. I don't foresee hospitality opening up very soon, regardless what people may say. And home delivery and other things are a very minuscule part of our entire business, very very minuscule. So it's not really justifiable also in terms of the kind of scale that we have. But still, boon boon banta sagar karke, we are doing whatever best we can and trying out whatever the things are.
So, sir, looking at the past 10 years, how would you say the hospitality sector has evolved over the past 10 years?
See, it's immaterial now. Now, whatever it was in the past 10 years is not going to be in the next 1 year also. So we
Right.
have to be ready that how will our current evolve. It doesn't matter what's the past.
Mhm.
Even the greatest batsman in the world, okay, it doesn't matter who, greatest bowler, greatest anything, he's only judged how great he is based on how continued success will be in the present. If you might be the superstar of a film industry once upon a time, but if you don't keep yourself relevant to the audience of today, you wane away like one more star in the galaxy. So it is
Absolutely.
immaterial what was the past. What is
Mhm.
very important is what is the present, and how it will shape our future, and how we should be ready for the future. And for that, no one has answers. I also don't have, and
Right.
anybody who says they do is basically just being very politely trying to fool us, because it's not possible. Nobody knows.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, right now the world is such a dynamic place. Every 10 days to 15 days something new comes, something drastically changes. And because of that, you have to keep your ears and eyes and mind, like I said, open, looking at how you need to modify your strategy. You cannot fix your mind and say, okay, for next even 1 month I'll do this. No,
Mhm.
because everything is modifying. Government rules, we as a hospitality group depend on government rules. We also depend on market sentiments. We also
Right.
depend on our corporate guests. We depend on our various people. So
Mhm.
since we are dependent on so many, we have to constantly be in touch with them to know what is happening and how we can prepare for the future. So there is nobody knows what is going to happen and how it is going to happen, and we have to take it each week as it comes, each month as it comes, and we will evolve. And probably it may be the same as last, probably it may be something new in the future.
Right.
We don't know. So let's just
Mhm.
not fixate our minds to anything.
Right. So, for example, as an individual, if I'm planning to step in into the hospitality sector, what are the key factors that I should keep in mind? Like, what are the challenges when you initially step in?
I told you now that before you see, we've talked. So it's such a it's an industry with everybody has a friend in
Mm-hmm.
everybody. There's not a single person who does not know. Talk to them before you enter into any industry. If you want to become a good doctor, if you want to become a good hotelier, talk to some good doctors. Talk to your
Mm-hmm.
relations who are already, or talk to your friends, or talk to their parents. Some many of them may not be doctors. They might be young. Talk to their parents who's already a doctor. Ask them what was their struggle, because like I said, everything looks rosy from outside. If I feel that, oh, people will keep falling sick, but
Mm-hmm.
doctors have a future forever because someone will always fall sick, just
Right.
like people say in a restaurant always people have to eat. But what are those
Mm-hmm.
challenges when they fall sick? Today if a corona has come and many doctors are not there, at least that's what we read in the papers. So what are their reasons? Why is it possible or not possible for them to serve? So this all, when you learn, then you decide, oh yes, I have learned and I want to still do it, or I don't want to do it.
Mhm.
So you, each one has to find out. If I list the challenges, it would be unfair, because most of them are not even struggles. See, I have not struggled in life. I have got it on a platter. My struggle started from that platter.
Okay.
In all
Right.
fairness, my grandfather was the one who
Mhm.
has struggled. When
Mhm.
he was at the age of 10, he came to Mumbai, and at the age of 10, he was a dishwasher boy. From there, he became a restaurateur. My father struggled. My father got a platter. He got a
Mhm.
platter that he was a restaurateur's son. From a restaurateur, he became a hotelier and a hospitality leader. Now,
Right.
my struggle starts that I, as the son of a hotelier, restaurateur, and hospitality leader, my challenges are further different.
Mhm.
So it is not fair for me to say about struggle, because most of our viewers, listeners are not necessarily as lucky as I was in terms of a platform.
Right.
But that is where I can share with them whenever, whatever experiences, based on whatever struggles I have seen or I have gone through, based on
Mhm.
my own experience. So I don't think that it is fair for me to list down struggles. Each one will decide their own. Some may have a struggle of professional. Some may have a struggle of being an entrepreneur. Some may say, "Nee,
Mhm.
I'm also from a well-to-do family, so I directly want to open a restaurant." His challenges and struggles are going to be different. He needs to talk to his friends who are restaurateurs, his hoteliers, and then
Mhm.
accordingly. But someone says, "I want to become a general manager of a hotel. What should I do?" He needs to talk to those kind of people.
Right.
So what do you want to do in life? Based on that, you have to talk to the right people, so that you will know what path to take.
Mhm. So, sir, like you mentioned about your grandfather and your father. So, I also read how you consider your father a mentor to yourself. So, what are the key learnings or the work ethics that you've adopted and you've seen your father and you're very inspired by that?
See, everybody should consider their parents as mentors, okay? Because today they've given birth to you, and whatever reason is that you are what you are because of them. Your education, your home, your whatever. You may be happy or unhappy with it is immaterial, but
Right.
they have sacrificed a lot for you. We cannot be ungrateful, and we must
Absolutely.
remember, because there are some people who say, "Arey, nay, I want to do this, but my parents
Mm-hmm.
are." But you could say all this because your parents have sacrificed something, and you have reached where you have reached.
Right.
Now, if you feel that you need to go ahead and do certain things, you need to take up those challenges and then do it based on that. You cannot, people take the easy way out to say, oh, this is there and that is there. I wanted to do this, but this happened. No, if you have conviction, you have to do it. At the end of the day, today there are so many people who have things quite easy.
Right.
But we feel that they have
Mm-hmm.
it quite easy. But even for that easy, how much they have to struggle is something which they know.
Right.
Today, just because a superstar son enters the industry doesn't mean that he'll become a superstar. And there are umpteen examples. And
Mm-hmm.
then at sometimes you find someone whose father was mediocre, but then that person in that same industry has gone 10 times ahead.
Right.
So it is the conviction of each one in their own self also. Like I said, everyone's lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone gets a break. How then do you take advantage of that break going forward? You should not look at just one mentor, because now one mentor never has the answers. Based on your different challenges, read about others who have faced those similar challenges. Read or speak to other people also, apart from those. Like, that's why not always I will speak to my father about certain things, because there would be somebody probably who has a more relevant experience to share,
Right.
and it will be able to give you a solution, or at least jog your mind to think towards a solution based on their own experiences or their own things, which may not. So it's not about having one mentor. In life you have to have multiple. That is why you must read books, you must read autobiographies, because you never know when somebody else's experience, though
Mm-hmm.
not related, but becomes highly relevant to you.
Right.
So reading is a very good habit. I would always encourage people to do.
So, sir, what are the top 3 or 5 books that you recommend everyone to read?
there, there, uh, there are a lot of good books. Um, I can't recall anything right now, unfortunately. But there are a lot of good self-help books. Starting with self-help, many people don't realize the importance of motivation, self-motivating books. I when I was younger, I read books like Zig Ziglar's "See You at the Top." That's something which is again a timeless thing, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of books which are there, which build in you a drive, but in a positive way. The important thing is, like I said, as you grow, how is it that you can retain that? See, one of the lines I always tell my team also, and in sales, and sales is always known as a cutthroat, cutthroat, what do you call it, field, where you are supposed to cut out the other person to get in, right? But no,
Right.
that is not true.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, especially sometimes, you have to help others get what they want so
Mm-hmm.
that you can get what you want.
Right.
And this is a very deep line in terms of that. Many a times, we feel, "Arey, ye mere ko chahiye," and then you take it and you get it, and it's called winner's curse. You then feel bad ki, "Arey, kyun mila mere ko?" Because suddenly there is something which you realize about that. So many a times now you need to go deeper and see, and helping your competition get what they want, because they want what you have or what they
Right.
think you want.
Mm-hmm.
Helping them get that, makes your next opportunity better. It's like, so like in our hotels, okay, I always ensure my neighbors get business from me, because
Mm-hmm.
if my neighbors are also busy, I'm also busy, then my area becomes busy, and overall all benefit. But if it leaves my area,
Mm-hmm.
if it goes from beyond my area, then I'm also empty, my neighbors also empty, and my area becomes empty, so the
Right.
overall demand in that area goes down. So if you help sometimes your competitor, it's not a bad thing. And then he becomes a friend competition. Then it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't become negative. And
Right.
that's how you build up your brand also. That's how you build up your relation. And in look at in this times of Corona, they've actually been helpful to me more than I've been helpful to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because of their support, we've been able to do many things, because you never know who has what kind of value to add in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you
Absolutely.
make people friendly competition rather than just compete for sake of it. So
Mm-hmm.
this is something which I always tell my salespeople. So we always look at that, if I can't take that business, how do I make sure my neighbor gets it?
Right.
you know and that's basically why we have our thing. And that, touch wood, even after giving business to our neighbors, still before lockdown we were doing exceedingly well. So helping others doesn't necessarily mean that you have to lose. And in fact, by helping others, you only become the winner in the long run. So there are a lot of things which books teach you, and you should read.
Okay. So basically creating a healthy competition and uplifting others.
In fact, one of the books, I have. Oh, 1 second. I'll show you this book. It's a I was gifted this book, by the way. I keep getting a lot of gifts, and
Okay.
I was gifted this book. Okay, I can't. Can you see the book?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's basically called Unposted Letters,
Okay.
and this gentleman is also a very lovely speaker. I've seen many of his videos, just like how Sadhguru also has some very
Mm-hmm.
lovely videos and speaks very beautifully. So Mahatma Rai, can you
Okay.
see this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hanji,
So
Mahatera.
his clips also come, yeah. So his clips also and this unposted letter, very lovely. Now these are semi spiritual also, but it's how you take the lessons.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy reading Mahabharat. I've read Mahabharat many times. I've read Ramayana many
Okay.
times, and each time you read it, you learn something more about yourself, and it jogs your mind in a certain way. So how you take the stories, you don't have to take everything literally on face value.
Right. So what, as you said, you do read Mahabharata and Ramayana. So what are the key learnings that you've taken from them and you've applied to your life?
The biggest lesson I learned from Mahabharata, okay, is there is no right and wrong. There is only what needs to be done. I think that is
Mm-hmm.
my biggest learning from the Mahabharata. And whatever in life, if you read Mahabharata and Ramayana, both, see, when we talk about Kaikai being the villain of the Ramayana, is she really the villain? But actually, if you see the backstory of Kaikai, who was the Daya of who um, sorry, Manthara was the caretaker of Bharat, and she was with Kaikai. Kaikai was the third queen of Dashrath,
That's
who's Ram's stepmom. So is
mm-hmm.
Kaikai the villain? Kaikai turns out to be the villain only because she was poisoned by Manthara. But
Right.
was Manthara again a villain? Who was Manthara? Manthara was basically the reincarnation of Lakshmi,
Mm-hmm.
because when Vishnu took the avatar of Lord Ram, That time the gods went and said that, if Ram is born a prince,
Mhm.
and Ram will then lead a life of a prince, where will be the challenge of his, and how will he go and kill Ravan?
Mhm.
It is Lakshmi who was reborn as, or took the avatar of Manthara, instigating Kaikai to make sure that Ram ultimately ends up getting banished, because of which Ramayana happened. So
Right.
sometimes the villain may not necessarily be that villain. That
Mhm.
person may be in your life the instigator to bring about a challenge which will make. Why did Ram become Ram? Ram did was not born a. He was born a. Ram became Ram only after he conquered Ravan. Otherwise, you and I would not know the story of Ramayana. So
Right.
sometimes the challenges which we face make us the hero.
Mhm.
Without that incident happening, you will not become the hero. And if you want to be a hero, then you cannot sit at home. You have to be able to be brave enough to not take upon every negative, to take it and make it into a positive. So same way, whether it is Ramayana, whether it is Mahabharata, sometimes we think, oh no, this bad happened. But what is the good from that bad? How can you take that negative and make it into a positive?
Right.
Corona has happened, it happened for the world, it has happened for
Mhm.
you, it has happened for me, it has happened for the world. How do we take this negative and make it into a positive? How do we overcome this challenge? The whole purpose of life is not to lay down your arms. It is basically to pick them up and to fight, and then feel the satisfaction of victory, whether you cracked an exam, whether you cracked a job, whether you've cracked it and made it in life. What is it is that feeling of achievement. That is that ultimate aim, right? So
Mhm.
this is where I think, has been my biggest learning from Mahabharata, Ramayana, that there is no right and wrong. And the people who we think who have done wrong to us, there is definitely something because of which he has been sent in your life or she has been sent in life, to now you have to make the right out of it.
Right.
If Rama would have sat down and said,
Mhm.
"Oh my God, my stepmom's a real idiot," why I'm not going to go. He would have fought with his father. Would we have remembered him as Lord Ram of Ramayana? No, it would have been one more masala saga over, and nobody write about it.
Right.
So, because of his nature, because of
Mhm.
what his nature was, which again we should take inspiration from, that rather than take it negatively, he said, "Okay, I will do my duty. I will fulfill my duty," and he did his duty,
Right.
and ultimately he became what we know. So same way,
Mhm.
every character has something to teach us, whether it is Karna from they say people only learn the there's a lot of very good like this Devdutt Patnaik, he also writes a lot of good stories. Then even Madam Krishnamurti, she also has some fantastic stories. And we need to see the backstory also and take inspiration from beyond the superficial and go
Mhm.
behind. It's not actually a story of good over evil. It's about multiple stories within a story.
Right.
So this is, I think, something which again I learned about from Mahabharata and Ramayana.
Beautiful. So, hopping on to the next question, in terms of personal goals and achievements, where do you see Kumar's group of hotels in the next, say, 5 to 7 years? Like, what is your goal for the thing?
See, my first goal right now is to survive Corona. Okay.
Right.
And I don't mean by my health. I mean
Mm-hmm.
by my company's health.
Right.
My health though will be fine. I have, like I said, my staff's health will be fine, because we are
Mm-hmm.
all very prudent, very sensible in terms of how we have been handling the whole, epidemic, pandemic. But what is important is after, and how can I look at systematically making sure that those who have been with us, how do they come back to us, how then we can make sure that their homes run. Yes, it will not run 100%,
Mm-hmm.
but can we start by 15%, 20%, 30%, 50%, 70%, to the point where we come back to normal if we can, and if future
Right.
is like that. So my goals don't rely on me, because my
Mm-hmm.
needs are very limited, my wants in life are very limited. So the I right now main focus is my people.
So, what would be your message to all the small hotel chain runners? For example, say the small restaurants or the dhabas who are struggling a lot in these days.
My simple advice which I follow my own is that it is the worst that has happened to us. Okay, and there is uh, per se nobody to blame. Okay, so the better, rather than waste time blaming, please evaluate your situation,
Mm-hmm.
see what needs to be done, Sometimes it is better to cut your losses, sometimes it is better to fight on.
Mm.
Each one based on his own ability has to decide what he needs or she needs to do. It is just to hold on for sake of holding on is also not the right thing, and just to fight for sake of fighting is also not the right thing. See what your own strengths weaknesses are, your financial position is, your ability in terms of who all are there, how will you do it, and make a strategy, make a plan, and definitely the outcome will be, if not 100%, definitely towards a positive percentage. Because
Yes.
today, like I said, we are also, our industry is dependent on many factors, and the
Mm-hmm.
biggest factor it is dependent on right now is the government.
Right.
And what do I mean by that? I don't mean handouts, I don't mean support. That is definitely required, and enough people have spoken about that, so I don't want to get into that aspect. But what I mean by government support, see, it is only the government who can make or break the public's mood, the public
Mm-hmm.
sentiment. What today we all need as a society is now positive sentiments. This is not going to go away. Just like dengue, malaria, AIDS, TB, typhoid, you name the list of 500 diseases, this is 501. But do we behave this way because of typhoid? Do we behave this way because of any disease? No. So corona has been one of those rare diseases which suddenly we have as a society been very hypersensitive about. It is now the government's duty to make the general public aware that this is now going to be with us. We have to live with this. We have to adjust to this, just
Right.
as we have done from the last thousands and thousands of years of
Mm-hmm.
every disease. And it will again, like it has come, it will go away. Either there will be a cure or whatever, but it is part of us. And now they have to change the public sentiments to again become normal in terms of our routine life.
Right.
People need to go to gym, people
Mm-hmm.
need to go to restaurants, people need to go to a mall, they need to go to a cinema. These are not luxuries of life anymore. They are essential parts of our life. Even watching a movie is a very critical and essential part of our life. If tomorrow the cinema opens, I can assure you I will go to a cinema hall. I
Mm-hmm.
am not scared about corona. I will be careful, but I will not be foolish. The
Right.
reason is that going to a cinema is not about watching a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's about spending time with the family. See, I have also watched movies in the home with my wife on Netflix and Amazon and all these things, but it is not the same unless and until
Exactly.
now. It's like this work from home. People say
Mm-hmm.
work from home, work from home. It is a, if it is for, as per me, a phenomenon which is going to die a quick death once lockdown opens up in 6 to 9 months, maybe a year's time. Nobody will want to work from home. I myself don't
Right.
want to work from home, because the first day when I could go to work now, I myself felt an energized man when I wore a smart shirt, smart pant, comb my hair. What, because I can't cut it, so that's why this thing, it comb my hair, did everything, and actually picked up my bag and was stepping out the door. I felt an energy. I felt
Right.
a purpose. Before that, what was I, in a half pant walking around in the house, not necessarily had bath, only if you have some meeting is there, then you act so lazy and so um, directionless, just because
Right.
yeah, you have to sit on your computer, have bath
Mm-hmm.
late, have breakfast late. There was no discipline or a sense of purpose. It's not that I was not working. I was still working from my, but I was absolutely dejected, and I would still prefer to go to my, not still prefer, no, I do prefer to go to my office, and I'm sure many would be of that thinking. There are a lot who
Right.
can work from home, and
Mm-hmm.
they are blessed, they are lucky,
Right.
and let them work. But if you ask me, I don't think for my thing. And also one more thing, working from home absolutely kills your social life. Most
Right.
people
Right.
who go to work appreciate,
Mm-hmm.
enjoy the de-stress also that they can after their colleagues, go to a local restaurant after that. Kiska birthday hai, kiska kuch hai. There is an added value to work. It's not only a job. It's
Mm-hmm.
also, it
Absolutely.
creates your social circuit. It
Mm-hmm.
also creates your social interaction. It gives you so many plus things. Yeah, what do you say? Commuting time. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from commuting time, there is some other life also attached. So I don't believe that this work from home and all will be such a rage. Right now it's okay because everybody's scared. Once that
Mm-hmm.
scare is gone, which the government should work on, I feel many things will come back to normal. And as if you look now also in Mumbai and other places, I don't know about Pune, but in Mumbai in various parts, the traffic jams already have started.
Right.
And people are in a way happy. No one's complaining. Here, jam mein atka hu. Why? Because again, like I said, you suddenly have something more than just your, routine of waking up, having late tea, then replying emails. then just lazing around. कभी lunch किया 1 बजे, कभी किया 3 बजे. Why? Because there is no pressure of any time.
Hmm.
People and each one now. So my point is that work from home ho, yeah, this thing, whatever each one's liking के हिसाब से they do work.
Right. So even I am of that belief that contact learning या contact working को remote working नहीं replace कर सकती, because there's some we
Yeah,
do
school. Look at schools.
right.
Schools. How? What kind? If I can assure you, I would have failed the year had I had to do any internet education. My mother would have never known. When I was studying from the book, she didn't know whether I'm reading or not reading. How will she know from a computer? Screen change करता. वहाँ मम्मी बग वास्तव है, बग वास्तव है. So I would have failed, miserably failed. Thank God there was no such device available. And when I was a kid, I would have definitely failed.
So, sir, just hopping on to the last question and wrapping up the podcast. So, what is that one thing that drives you every morning? And if you could tell the listeners a quote that you live by,
One of the quotes I already shared with you. If you want to
right?
get what you want in life, and this is not this this I'm sure many of us already do at home also. Sometimes when you want to eat something, like especially when I used to stay with my mom, and now I do it with my wife. I hope she doesn't listen to this podcast. uh, I will just tell her, "Arey Aditi, cha paise ka tula?" Now she knows I don't really make tea. So when I ask her, I say, cha paise tula apun cha piyuya. Okay, suddenly then the cha will come and this thing. If I tell her, can you make tea for me na, it will not come. Let's have one cha piyuya ka, we'll have tea. You want coffee, I'll make coffee. So suddenly, so then I get the tea. So this is the small way of how this thing. When you induce something in someone's mind in a very positive way, positive things happen. But if you tell them, "Hey, mala cha karun de," like "Kai, मैं तुझे नौकरानी है क्या?" So that's not going to happen.
Right,
So that's why in a positive way, when you put it sweetly, nicely, and that is basically things. If you help others get what they want, you know, you will get. So sometimes I like to have. Once in a while, I regularly I like to drink with my father. Okay, he's my very good drinking company. So sometimes when I feel like drinking now, but I can't say I want to drink. Now how you will tell your dad कि पापा मी पीतो? So I say पापा तुम्ही whiskey घेणार? Then my father will think. And he also actually enjoys drinking with me. So he'll think, अच्छा ठीक है. So when he says it, I'll get it. But if I say पापा मी पीतो, he'll give me काय रे बेवड्या. He'll shout at me. So I think that's how small examples of how when you help others get you want. But of course, these are all in jokes. But in real life, when you do it in business, when you do it in anything, you will find that when you help your society get better, automatically you live a better society life. So these are kind of things which are there.
right. So, and the first part of the question being, what drives you every morning? What do you look forward to in each of the day?
Right now, like I said, right now it's see, everybody wants to grow. Some want to grow their business, some want to grow themselves. What basically I enjoy is right now the challenges that are there with me. In fact, many a days I in fact don't have any drive right now
Mhm.
because in the middle the corona had taken away the sense of purpose of doing certain things. And now with new challenges coming about, going and solving those challenges are basically what drives me. If a problem is there, how can I resolve that problem? How can I take that problem and not make it a problem and make it in fact a asset? And this is basically what right now I've been very busy with. And I think that's been a very good thing, helping and helping my friends also. Sometimes some people call and they'll say, "Arey, ye hai. How can I help them?" I think this is basically what has been keeping me quite busy and occupied. And I think this is what will keep me busy, occupied for the next months. And this is the time where you learn really who are your friends, really who are those employees of yours who will stick with you, really who are family members who are this, who have been concerned, not only in terms of lip, but in terms of what are the challenges. If there have in this lockdown, each one of us have gone
Right,
through our own challenges. People have fallen sick, they need to be taken to hospital. People have been, unwell. That time, near and dear ones don't come, and strangers come, or not strangers, but little who you didn't expect comes and helps you in your building. So it's a very dynamic time, and you realize each one's core nature, core values, and that's something which I enjoy, solving these kind of challenges which come every day. But apart from that, right now this is not the time to have unnecessary ambitions, because like I said, I am responsible for 2,000 employees who are directly working with us. So
Right.
whatever steps and calculations we take should be something where first my 2,000 people are taken care of, then only look at new people or new members joining us.
Right. 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 Absolutely. So I believe that was a very enriching session. So and having some perspective of a different person, of a person from hospitality industry, will definitely add value to the lives of listeners. And so one more
Thank you.
question. One more question. How can someone reach out to you?
So I'm available on email. I'm available on Twitter. You can share my email ID on this platform. You want me to share it, or will you post it later on?
Will Yeah, for the listeners, we'll link it
Okay.
in the bio. And
So I'm my email ID is VISHAL Vishal KAMAT one word at KHIL.com, Kamath Hotel India Limited. So
okay,
KHIL.com. On Twitter, I'm available on Vishal K82 at Vishal K82 again, VISHAL K82. That's
okay,
my Twitter. And on Facebook also, you can search me and send me a messenger. And I think that's the best ways you can contact me.
okay. So also again for the listeners, we'll link social media bios
Yeah,
and the
Twitter also
IDs.
you can put it all the links, whatever the links are.
Yes,
Even Twitter you can put.
definitely.
That's not a problem.
Yes, okay. So
ठीक
thank
है.
you so much,
Thank you
sir.
very, thank you very. It was really nice being here, and I hope your listeners have benefited. And if there's
Yes,
anything, as I said, I'm happy to answer their queries. Thank you, Mishka.
definitely.
Thank you
Thank
very, very
you.
much.